Industry X is a podcast where we will share life stories that will ultimately lead to conversations about daily life. All right, y'all.
Welcome to the INDaSTRY-X podcast. Not my story, not his story.
Not my story.
Everybody's story. You know what I'm saying?
Man, today we're going to get into it, y'all. This is going to be a real one.
Okay.
Man, a couple of days ago, like I said, for me, I had never heard of this artist. My daddy had just sent it to me. It's Dax, featuring what's his name?
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Oh yeah.
The song was titled "To Be a Man," and man, when I listened to the words of that song, man, it really I ain't gonna lie, I was at work. I'm over it. I work from home, so nobody can see me, you know. But but I really had teared up a little bit, bro, because it's like everything that he was saying in the song about how, you know, a man goes through so many of these trials, but he has to he can't show his emotions to the world. He has to burden them alone. Then what really got me, he said a man provides for a home, and at the same time he has to wonder, is that the only reason why, the person stays? It's deep. This whole song was deep, bro. And I was like, that I battled with some of those same things in my life of of being a man that you don't really know until you go through it, you know. So I would advise we'll probably somehow when this episode drops, figure out how we can not get in trouble, but to put the song somewhere for y'all to go listen to it for those that don't know it, but that really listening to that song put me in the mode of that's something we need to talk about. Because
it made you think about, dang, it really is tough out here.
It's really tough. It's really tough, man.
And being a man, you just going through the everyday life. You don't even get your chance to sit back and reflect.
Because in the song, you tell just you can't, because it's at the end of the day, we've all said before, being a man, what we've learned is there are no excuses.
No,
it's and then and then how I know that that's true for when we don't do what we're supposed to do, you get flacked. There's no grace. No. There's no grace in saying that, hey man, he made a mistake. It's nah, bro, hey man, you get flamed. It's like they put you you back on the witch trials, getting put on the stick, getting
kind of
burned.
like what we talked about in our last episode.
Hey, Chris Rock had a great joke for that, and I'm trying to remember it. Chris Rock said about unconditional love. He said,
"Oh yeah,"
he said, women, children, and dogs are the only ones who get love unconditionally. Men are loved under the condition to provide something."
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. It's 100% true.
Yeah, but how do you feel about that?
That's how it is.
Do you feel like
tough.
That's part of being a man?
Yeah, I do.
I think that due to, well, one, I guess it's kind of both for me. I agree that what it is, but what I would also agree that unfair is the wrong word, man. I'm trying to see what word I want to use. Unfair is the wrong word. I'll say it's just like what Chris Rock pointed out. It's just crazy that we all, everybody in life, man, woman, even animals, go through troubles, you know. But it's just funny that when other people go through troubles, they get this level of, this cushion of that it's okay.
Yeah.
For a man, you mess up, it's bro, no, whoa, you lead a bum, less than a man, less than a man. Deadbeat.
But think about your own standards though. When you get around a dude who don't have nothing, that won't do nothing.
But that's what I'm even saying. I was gonna even get to that. Us as men, but that's due to society. Because we have this level of that men getting no flack.
Ain't no rest.
Even for us as men, like you just said, you're right, bro. If we see a man, he could have just fell on hard times. But instead of saying that, we're gonna be that dude a bum.
You gotta do better.
Yeah, that dude gotta do better. We don't care.
You lost your job?
Oh, yeah, we don't care about that. You better go figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
You think you're the only person out here that lost a job? You ain't special.
Yeah, and that's the mantra we take, bro.
You lost your job, huh?
Oh, you lost your job?
What you gonna do?
Look, woman, you lost your job. That's cool. I'm gone. That's another man who got a job. I'm going. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's we get no grace, room, grace. And and that's what the song is about. Even for me, it hit home that you really got men. We have to worry about that, especially for me. When he was like, we have to shoulder. He talked about his dad. He said, man, he was like, my dad. It's something like my dad was going through certain things, like trying to teach me how to be a man. But what I didn't know, he was also still like hurting and crying inside. Mm-hmm. He was like, but now he was like, but now he's telling the song as he's gotten older. I'm doing the same thing. Man, like, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to be a man.
Yeah.
And I'm hurting on the inside while trying to teach. I'm trying to teach and for me, I have sons now, so I put me into perspective, which is true. I'm trying to teach my sons how to be, well, not yet because they're young, but like I know I'm going to have to teach my sons how to be men. Mm-hmm. And hearing that song, it's like I don't want it to come from a place like that, bro. Because I don't want it to come from a place.
You want your son to still be able to feel like there's love that he getting. Like he's not a workhorse.
Exactly.
You're not an instrument that's used to be put on this earth to be used and abused by what you can do and what you can. That's literally why I still kiss my son. Like love on him, give him the affection for the simple fact of I know how harsh this world is when it comes down to men. I'm a man myself. So if anybody know it would come from a man. I know how hard this world is when it comes to men. And the last thing that I want a man to do is grow up in this world not feeling affection and love from somewhere.
Because it make us cold,
and then that's true.
Yeah, emotional.
Because think about how we grow up. You know what I'm saying? What they tell you. Hey. Boys don't do all that.
Yeah, hush that. Don't be crying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey. When you get up, get you a job.
Yeah, bro. It's like,
get you a job. Make sure you go get you a job. Make sure you provide for your family. And hush all that whining and crying up. Even to this day, you know what I'm saying? You call some of the older men or, you know what I'm saying, from how we grew up, they going to say, hey, what you calling me for? Go out there and figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
And that's crazy. That's like our mantra, bro. Like, so that's what really, when my daddy sent me that, it even put me into the mode of, man, when I was growing up, some of the things that my own daddy was experiencing, hurting, trying to help me to teach me to be a man in this world. Yeah. And the affection thing, my son is 1 year old, two, both my sons, but I kiss on them, and I do plan on doing it for the future. Here's why. You know, people, that picture came out when Tom Brady kissed his son. That's my guy. That's our guy.
Oh yeah.
But people gave him flack for that. Like, why would you do that? Why would you, why would you, kiss? Why would you kiss your son?
There's people without kids.
But now that I have my own son, I kiss my son because I'm like, hold on, man. I need him to know that like he can get love from his father. I don't need you thinking that you have to go throughout this world carrying like this big weight that like you can't have emotions, you can't love. Like, you can't, I said, because I feel like for me, I've done those things because I thought that's what the world told me to be.
Yes.
I felt like the world told me I was supposed to be this cold individual.
Yeah. And then think about how you look at yourself. So mine is kind of more on the, when you reflect and you realize, like, I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I am an emotional man that wear my feelings on the sleeve and, wants affection. And then think about how you look at yourself when you compare it to the things that you were, quote, unquote, taught.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big topic too. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like, dang, as a man, why am I feeling this way? As a man, you start questioning your own, you know what I'm saying, exactly, qualities that you have to make yourself a man. I just shared this post. It's crazy you talking about your parents. I just said not too long ago, like, at the time when we was growing up, man, I experienced a lot. I seen a lot. It was times where we had it. It was times where we didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really put into a picture what was going on. And I remember they probably don't know that I know, but I remember, you know what I'm saying, the expression on my father's face, and I've heard him, have some conversations about how he felt as a man whenever he was in the process of trying to provide for a family, and he felt like he wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And now that I have been in his shoes, like I now go back.
Pressure is crazy.
It's a real thing, bro, and like, bro, they gave me chills just talking about it, just for the simple fact of like the world, society, people really put this big boulder on your own shoulder and say, hey, look, if you ain't this, if you ain't doing it this way, if you ain't providing that way, then you're out. Then you ain't a man. You can't take care of your family. But what we be saying, life do be life.
Life be life.
Yo, so. And for me, unlike you guys have sons. I don't have any kids. But, like, you saw me how I handle and work with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, the football players. So what I've learned, you know, with traveling the world and meeting a lot of people and being on my own and meeting a lot of masculine men, or what you would call masculine men, a lot of tough guys, a lot of guys who've been through war or been through a hard life, and them expressing themselves or not having to act tough, is what I realize is what we like my grandfather, like it wasn't that he wasn't teaching me not to show emotion. It was like, how do you deal with them? And like how I get with the kids. It's like, I know you might be hurting or you might be upset. I don't have a problem with you being in your feelings. It's how you handle and deal with those. You know, when it comes to crying, we got a kid who loves to cry, right?
Yeah, my man do.
He do. Pull him to the side. It's like, bro, I understand you're hurt. No, people get hurt. I get hurt. It don't feel good.
But see, you see what you say though? People don't say I understand it hurt first.
Yeah, right. And that's a big one. And because there's that stigma of like how men should be and you shouldn't show no emotion. It is not even that, it's just how you deal with it. I'll go back to my grandpa, one of the most masculine, manly men I ever met. I think everybody's grandpa might be like that.
Old Stone.
Old Stone. Yeah, right. Your papa Stone, like my grandpa from Mexico.
My papa Norman, yeah, same way.
My papa from Mexico. He was raised in Mexico in the 50s and 60s. You know what I'm saying? He done seen some stuff. You feel me? So when my grandmother died, I remember that was the first time I seen my grandfather vulnerable, and I seen him cry. But I've never seen him emotional before. And then until I became a man and realized that kind of pressure, you know, having to kind of support and do certain things. I realized that it wasn't that my grandpa wasn't emotional. It was when he decided and chose to open up and when he did, right? And how he conveyed his emotions.
That's crazy that you say that, bro, because I've never seen a grimace of hurt or pain on my grandpa's face until my grandmother died.
Because that's who he went and talked to.
Yeah.
That's who he went and vented to.
And I see what you're saying.
And, you know, my grandma used to talk about my grandpa, and it was like a side of my grandpa that I didn't even think was real.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Nah.
And that's why I am the way with the kids, because, like, listen, in this world, because I've been by myself for a long time, and the world is not nice. And I want, especially these young black men, to understand, like, yo, it's not going to be easy. And I'm not going to be easy on you, but I'm not going to be unfair. And there's going to be people that care about you. But you as a man have to be able to handle the adversity. You have to. You have to have some type of sleeve and sheath. You don't have to be heartless. You just have to deal with your emotions.
But see, that's the thing. When you say you don't have to be heartless, but that's not the mantra that's portrayed.
No.
You know, right? And it's because of, like, the reason why, even for me, when I look back, why you have even so many people going down certain paths, is because of the tough guy
my daddy, man.
The tough guy mentality.
Oh, Stefani.
Like for me, how you say y'all seen y'all I can honestly say I've only seen my daddy cry one time in my entire life, and that was when Mama did die, which is his grandmother who took care of him. Mm-hmm. You know, like other than
that is crazy when you think about it, bro.
Other than that, my daddy don't cry.
My
kids ain't gonna see me cry.
My pops cried one time.
My daddy always, when I was younger, my daddy he always told me and my brother this, and my cousins, etc., everybody who's at the house. Men, you don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Right. Nah, bro, can't do it. His thing was, can't do that. Like, cause that's not what a man do.
And the thing about that is, they tell you not to wear your heart on the sleeve, but they don't tell you where to put your feelings.
Now, hey, that's
you know what I'm saying. Like, don't wear your heart on the sleeve. But, I still feel this, dog.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing that Dex said in the song. Most men, because of society, I will be honest and say you're not allowed to. Here's why: because the moment that you do, it comes with a level of like vitriol that. Now you open yourself up to these attacks that
vulnerable
that could break you down. Now you put yourself in a vulnerable state, exactly, and that's why for men, because we know that, because we understand how the world, not how it should be, but how it is, that we close ourselves in these boxes of, I can't be emotional. What we have for me used to always be, I can't be vulnerable, because if I'm vulnerable, so and so gonna play on that.
You build that pride, and that pride start building up too at that point,
bro,
man. Yeah.
The reason we decided to do this podcast, bro, because we just got to a point to where we could talk about stuff, bro. And even on our last podcast, it was still hard for us to do it.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say for both of y'all, like you first, like what age or what enlightenment or what happened to where you just like, this is not what it's supposed to be as a man. Like, you ain't supposed to walk around being Mr. Macho, hard, rock shoulders, and don't feel. What happened to you to make you feel like you've now realized that?
I mean, multiple things, but I'll say for the most part, with me being married now, a lot of the conversations I was like when I would be stressed out and going through things, you know, like for me because I'm a man, I would be how y'all was saying like grandfather talk to. No, I would say for how I was raised, you don't talk. We don't talk to anybody about anything. But how me for me, not my wife, not nobody. Like whatever I go through, I handle that. Like I deal with that. However I deal with it. Now for me with being married with my wife, the problem with that is sometimes when I'm going, as you know, as a man will do, when I'm going through and I'm really trying to process something or trying to figure something out, I cannot be the nicest person. I cannot be the most communicative individual.
Right.
And then like my wife because she is my wife, she'll see things happen and be like, man, I know he really stressed out right now. Let me try to like talk to him to try to make him feel.
That's what a good woman is.
Try to make him feel better. And for me, I would never want to hear. I would say stuff like, "You can't help me.
I'm good.
Like you can't. Like you really. The more you talk to me, you agitate me. Like you can't. Like you can't.
Just let me process.
Yeah. Like just let me do this. Like you just leave me alone." So finally, one day, after doing this like this through us being just repeatedly doing this, going through this battle, she finally told me one time. She was like, "You know, you when I see you stressed out and I know you stressed out, and half the time like she know what I'm stressed out about, right? Because we together, you know, like." I'm coming to you just trying to, you know, like to be a soundboard for you to let you know that I'm here, that I understand. But she's like, but you always push me away. And then she asked me, she said, how do you think that makes me feel? And I said, I never thought about how you felt. You know what I'm saying?
Feel like a piece of.
Yeah, you know, like I never thought about how you felt. I'm just know what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so that then made you realize, like, I got to do something with
I need to do something because it's like in return of me processing how I thought a man was supposed to process, I'm now, like my wife told me, she said, you really make me feel, when you do this, you make me feel like I'm not important. Like even me open trying to listen to you is not valuable. Like I feel like that, you know, you're not valuing me and what I can try to offer and help you in this situation.
That's real.
And I was like, you know, for me, I never thought about it like that.
Shout out to Chesley,
you know,
man.
Hey.
She broke my boy, man.
You know, like I never, you know, exactly. I never thought about it. You could hit the butt.
There's one for you, Chesley. Yeah.
There's one for Chesley, man. Shout out to her one more time for Chesley.
One more time.
My dog.
Chesley, man. I never, before then, like I said, I never thought about it like that. And I still not the best, but I have tried. But that opened up the door for me to be like, man, you know what? Maybe there's got to be a better way to this. Because, and then it was when I got into the word more and trying to be intentional, I found out that she is my helpmate, man. You know, like she is. If I can't talk to her about certain things,
I'm really lost out here.
I'm really messed up. You know, like so. But like I said, and that led to me finally talking to you to be like, you know what, man. Really what helped me from that talk to you was Dr. Miles Monroe and the You Ain't Special thing. Now, and Dr. Monroe put it like this. He was like, he didn't even put it from a man or woman thing like that. He just said that, you know, we go through these things in life, whether it be financially, whether it be spiritually or sickness or whatever. He was like, we go through these things, and he was just like, these things allow people because they are, I guess we make them stressful situations. Yeah. He was like, we then go in, our mind frames go into like this depressive state. He said to where you don't want to talk to anyone. You're either too embarrassed to, one. He said, or you don't want nobody to know. You know, that whole thing. He said, but really, he said, well, people don't realize, he said, when you do that, he was like, that's not of God. He said, that's the devil. The devil wants you to feel alone. He said the devil wants you to not think that you have somebody that can relate to you. He said because the more you're alone in your thoughts, he has you. Right. He was like, so we said we have to get out of this frame of thinking that we're so special that nobody can relate. Right. He said he was like, if you turn next to you and ask the person next to you, I bet they got something going on. It might not be the same thing.
But it's something.
It's something. It might even be worse. So he was like, so it was like we have to get out of that. And then that really confirmed, like, man, you know what? Maybe the way I've been
processing my feelings
as a man, maybe
because
this
of what I was taught.
Yeah, because of what I thought the word was teaching me. Maybe this ain't right. Maybe I got to come another way. You know,
for sure.
That was me.
What do you think? Like,
So for me, it's not going to be one particular time, but it's going to be like a culmination of certain things that happen over time, but like in a short span. So I think the first thing that happened was when when
What story about to tell, bro?
the one where my ACL wasn't fully healed and I was trying to chase somebody down.
Come on.
No, but that brought a lot into conveying emotions.
Hold on, y'all. Let me paint a picture. Let me paint a picture for y'all.
you finna have to go back and talk about that. Hold on, yeah. Back on
let me see. We might have
Vista, you know, about 19.
We were outside with the junior high center.
2011.
What was
it
it?
was 11?
It was 2011.
It was 17.
Civic Center.
Yeah, we were outside the Civic Center.
Bro, she brought another.
She brought another man to the place. So now we were going there because it was the Mad Vet show. We were already going there to watch.
I'm going to support.
He's going to support.
You was going to support her.
Support her.
And she
yeah, she did.
She invited me, bro.
Yeah, she did. So hold on, bro. Let me tell you how I found this dude. Because he called me. So he called me.
I was delusional.
He called me very mad and very upset. So I'm like, what's wrong? He like trying. I could barely understand what he's saying because he really, really mad. I could deduce that he was like at the front. So I was like, let me just go to the front and let me go get him. This man is.
You're a good friend, by the way.
This man is on crutches. And then as I'm approaching, I can finally understand. He's like, yeah, bro, she invited me. He in there. I'm going to go in there. I said, bro, all you going to do is kick in your knee.
I wasn't worried about. I was an anime character. I'm not worried about this knee.
His knee was even wrapped up.
You
I
think
said,
I'm
bro.
worried about this knee?
Bro, you talking about the same knee that used to go stretch out on the couch and then you couldn't move after the football game?
And I wasn't worried about it then.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about it now.
That boy was going to work you.
Anyways.
We weren't going to allow him to work you, but we
We were not going to allow that. It was
Also,
just, I always want to point out to him that, like, what you're saying in this moment
So
just don't make a ton of sense.
Also, he was like 20 and he was dating a high school girl, so you know.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I
am. Yeah, okay, fine. I was hurt. Hurt people. But no. So back to the topic that was a humbling experience because after that I acted like I had a chip on my shoulder, you know, and I didn't know how to express myself, and that's when that dude at Taco Bell. This is another instance, right, where my emotions get the best of me.
So there was this time.
This one time at
Taco Bell,
and this dude came in, and he was talking to another partner that I was with, and he had said something to him, and I was like, "Bro, don't worry about it, man. What you say? Oh, be this, that, this is this and that. What you got?" He looked at me like, "I know you're not talking to me." I was like, "Yeah, I'm 15, 16, right? Thinking I'm big and bad. This dude like 40." He said, "This is why I knew he messed up. We were going back and forth." When he said, "I don't care about going to jail. I'm finna get this little yellow bee right now." I said, "Oh, I messed up. He don't care about going to jail. I'm super terrified about jail. This guy don't mind hurting me. What did I do?" And I was a kid. So that was one of the things that let me realize, like, I need to deal with, like, this pent-up anger and this aggression. And then Coach Guthrie.
Okay, one more.
But this is just gonna lead it. So, learning with these men who were very masculine, old school men that would express themselves, not in the way that I think like some people would think we should as men, like just pouring our hearts out. But G would express himself about the stuff he was dealing with at home. You know, I'm a 16-year-old kid, and we'll drive home, and he'll tell me about the stuff he was venting to me. Doug, one of the most toughest guys I know in my life.
Doug, let's talk about Doug.
Dougie Doug. And he would talk
tough
to me
as
about
nails,
stuff.
dude.
Tough as
right
nails.
there.
And the way he trained me was the same way.
Tough.
The way he trained me the same way. He had me carrying cinder blocks and concrete up, you know, on roofs and stuff to train. But he would also express himself in certain ways that not necessarily allowed him to
Anybody else? I just want to hit the button.
Yeah.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
But
Don't worry about it. Let's talk about don't worry about it.
But being around them, I learned at a very early age, like I would say before 20, to be able to express yourself. Yeah. Because I think a lot of the not expressing themselves is like an image we're trying to uphold. And then when I learned how to box, which is when Doug came in, when I learned how to fight and I learned how to overcome some of the insecurities I had, there was no need to project a tough macho man. I know I'm tough. When I was in the military, and I was like, I know I got something. So there's no need for me to. If I'm not if I'm not comfortable, I'm gonna tell you I'm not comfortable. If I don't like what you're saying, I don't like what you're saying.
Y'all got a little bit earlier than me.
Yeah, so I would say about 20, around 20, 21.
About 20,
when I
21.
like, yeah.
You know, about what would you say for you? About 20.
What? I'll just learn this probably like.
Y'all, bro, this is the same thing that had the last show. Oh, you was trying to be a better person. Yes,
I probably just learned this.
Actively trying to be a better person.
Like, this might be a few months ago.
Oh my God, dude.
No,
and you're married, bro.
For real. No, that's a real thing.
But yeah, everybody journey different. Everybody walk different.
Definitely. It wasn't until I experienced some hurt.
Yeah, some
pain.
hurt, some pain.
Because
I was going through.
She hurt me. One more time.
Pain. Let's give it up to this part of the segment is called pain.
I was destroyed.
No. I want to tell this one funny story before I tap into that, man. So everybody know my father, you know what I'm saying? He's a funny, cool dude, but he grew up kind of tough, kind of rough at an early age thing too, man. And his big thing is he don't like half-assing.
Yeah.
And you gonna do it, ain't no excuses. Just get out there and do it. So I remember this one particular time I said, it's a story. We're going to think back on this story.
You love that button.
I do. Yeah. I can't like a button. Come on, man.
You press it.
Okay, Willy Wonka. Yeah, Willy Wonka. Like, stop.
No, this is funny, man. We're going back. I would say 2013, I'm at the house, or senior year, and
it's a fun time.
I was on Buena Vista.
Evil house.
The evil house. The house is evil. And I told this man told me to rake the yard. This the first time I caught myself putting my pride to the side and really trying to be honest about how I felt. Yeah. I said, hey, Pops, I know you told me to rake this yard, dog, but like, I said, but nice text me, I done butted it up. I said, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't trying to get out of raking this yard. I want to do what you asked me to do, but I'm really not feeling good right now. Is it okay if I rake the yard tomorrow? Yeah. He said, if you die, you better die with a rake in your hand.
But that's important because
but I do want to say this, though. I sniffled my way to the end of raking the leaves up because I felt that through the text message. You know what I'm saying?
You felt he was playing. He wasn't playing.
The reason I wanted to share that story is just because we talk about the toughness and your people that was raising us. Like, this is really how they thought, because it wasn't no grace for them growing up back in the day. It was either you get this done or my foot gonna be in your butt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or else, or you get this done or you ain't gonna provide for your family. You get this done or what you gonna do with this house? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, simple as that. I feel like I can say now, as men nowadays, that we do have more of an outlet. Yeah, more of an outlet, more of a way to express ourselves. So I do want to talk. Did want to say that, but no, man. I think the wearing my heart on the sleeves and things like that. So I didn't really understand. You know what I'm saying?
We know you didn't.
Yeah. Until I experienced some real hurt, and I'm like, wow. Why am I feeling this? What is this that I'm feeling? And what do I do with this feeling? Don't worry about it. Everybody, I'm mad. I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, it's only frustration and upset. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It ain't too many. Sad. I say sad and upset are the only two emotions that, you know what I'm saying, we were really taught to show. And that was recently, I say, you know what I'm saying, just now. Because I felt those things then, but even when I was feeling them, I still didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with the feelings. I think just now is what I just learned, man. And my biggest thing that I'm going to say is talk to people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people, bro. Yeah. Just like you say, you talk to your wife. If you don't have a wife, if you don't have somebody.
But even us, even for me, like I told you.
That's true.
And the one that's just going to drop. Yeah. What was crazy, even before we came up with the idea of INDaSTRY, that call... when I called him to talk about this, on that same call is when we let it be known the things we were both dealing with. Right. And it was crazy because, like I said, we talk to each other, all of us, all the time. But it was just like we never. I even say bring it back on the sidetrack, but I'll say this. I even told my wife one time. I said, y'all, because she was saying something to her best friend Lindsay about something she was feeling and all that, and I was like, see, we don't do that.
That's the problem with women.
Yeah, I said, I was like, me and Decorah, I said we could both be dang near about to die. I said, and we gonna be on the phone and us
Yeah,
dying
bro.
not even gonna come
What
up.
you doing?
I said, and that's the relationship we have, and that's why it was so crazy. Like we said in the last podcast, the conversation
Man,
really
that's
went
how
like
we always-
it really went like when I said something, he was like, all right, let me see, maybe he said something about what he's going through. Let me. Yeah, bro, you know, and I'm like, I know, bro. All right, cool, you know, we like, you know, if he gonna let it out, I'll let it out.
That's exactly how it was. Oh, well, since we talking about it, ooh, thank you. I'm glad somebody said. I've been wanting somebody to say something.
And that's important. That like, if you don't have a wife, now of course, like I said last time,
What are you trying to say, man?
Some people,
I know I've been single for 10 years.
but I'm saying that some people agents of the devil. Now you can't tell everybody everything.
True,
man.
Now, so because your business will be everywhere, you know, like, but if you have safe people, a safe space that you know you can trust, you might want to for like men, we need to start conversating more because a lot of the things that we're going through as men that we're battling with, we're not the only ones. There are a ton. There are a ton of. That's how we all best friends were going through stuff.
Yeah, no, I
and
actually
didn't say a word. You know,
I go to therapy every Monday at 4:30, and that's a lot. That's a good let out for me. You know what I'm saying? It has been a good place that I feel like if you have no one to talk to, try look and see if that's something that you can get into, man. Because one thing I can say. Even if you don't have nothing to do or there's no one to give you solution, it feels good to let out the things that you feel that's inside your mind, inside your brain, just to be able to speak them out to someone and have someone on the receiving end really listening to you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when we go in there, we just spend a whole 45 minutes to an hour and I'm just, she don't even get a chance to give me no feedback. But after I leave, I'm like, that felt good.
Yeah.
See you next Monday.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening.
And sometimes that's all we need, bro. And I think that like being a man is tough enough from trying to provide, from trying to not let other men think that like, oh, they think I'm weak. They could do anything to me. They could say anything to me. It's like these challenges, like I wanted to bring it where that like what Dak said in the song, they are real. Right. It's kind of like that even though with them being real, I think at the source of it, I think that will help us as men is to be able to finally convey some of these thought processes. Yeah. And what you said about, hey, some of the things that we learned on what we were told to what men were.
Yeah.
Or weren't necessarily, I won't say that they weren't true. I would say it was more of what they
was more to it.
Yeah, it was more to it than what we were being told.
That was one layer of being a man.
Exactly. It's like there was more to it than what was being told. And like now that we're figuring this out, I just think it's good for us to finally say these things to be able to let
I do want to say one more
that.
thing too. Like, it's a stigma that goes around and say men aren't emotional. That's not true. Men are very emotional beings. It's just as a man, like we've been saying, it's very hard to know who to trust with those emotions. You know what I'm saying?
And how you convey those emotions.
And the reason I say that, the reason I brought that is because it's a lot of people that move and operate out there that just say like, oh, he'll be all right. If I get to him like this, if I say it to him like that, if I treat him like that, it's a man, he'll get over it. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. Like, hey, you know, give men grace, the same grace that we give everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on who you talk to, that person might need it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That person might need it. You know, stop assuming just because someone is a man that they don't have feelings.
Yeah.
I agree with that, man. I think for me, like I said again, when I heard the song, it was real for me. I really felt it. Like, man, even for me right now, the things in my own head that I battle with of being a man, providing for my wife, providing for my kids, and how hard that is. Mm-hmm. And like I don't think society really, to me at times, appreciates that. That like, for me, like I will say that for me, now for me doing what I'm doing, I have more appreciation even for my own father. Like for what he did. And now, even for my mama too, because she did a lot as well, but I'm talking about like I'm just from the men perspective.
Right.
That like what I do for my family is a lot. Like, I don't think I tell my brother all the time, you know, my phrase is, it costs to be the boss. I know that cost now of being the boss. I know the cost of being the head of a household, which is I'm the one right now making sure everybody eats.
Right.
I'm making sure that everybody got clothes.
And start and
They
stop.
livelihood depending on you.
Yeah, I'm making sure everybody
can't
got.
slip. Yeah,
I'm making
right.
sure everybody got clothes. I'm making sure everybody can buy food, diapers, etc.
Yeah.
It's like that pressure, bro, is surmountable.
Yeah.
Like it's high, and
I like that word.
yeah, I didn't make it up because I didn't know what other one to use, but I thought this sounded nice.
It did.
Yeah, but
I liked it.
Surmountable.
but
That's not what he said.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
well,
but he
say-
close enough.
Say it again.
Surmountable.
There we go.
We had to press the
This
dang
segment.
button. We had to press
It's
the button.
called.
I'm sitting over there next time.
Yeah, we're gonna have you running. I know we were kind of against it, but we gonna have you running.
Yeah, why were y'all against it? It's only like I push buttons for a living, but it's fine.
Yeah, we had to be devil's advocate on something. But I will say that man, I think that's it for me being the leader, bro. That is tough. They're and that's why I will say, yes, I can agree. We can go like devil's advocate about men because people gonna be on here. Well, some men who don't. Yeah, true. Yeah.
We talk about.
We
for
know.
the ones
We
that-
definitely know that there are men out there who don't want that responsibility or accept that responsibility. But that's not what we're talking about. We're just what we're talking about right now is just the pressure of that. That I don't think people really take the time to be like, man, he got to do
Let
this.
me
He gotta
check
do
on
that.
this
He got to
man.
do this. He got to do that.
Let
They're
me see if this man not right.
Yeah, let me make sure he's okay.
I've heard a lot of, especially older women, and like I said, at a young age, I was trying to be better. So I did listen to them, and a lot of
You had to point that out, bro. You had to point it out.
I was trying to be better. I was trying.
What
I
Gilly
really
say
was.
when I was in them streets running up on people, robbing them, I wanted people to fear me.
Listen, hey, long
Go
time ago.
ahead, man.
A long time ago. But now I would hear people say that. I would hear women acknowledge what men do and things like that, whether or not they wouldn't say it in words or not. And about conveying emotions, it's like, as men, we can't go and expect to get a cookie to do what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But it's how you convey, you need to appreciate me. I think it's the big deal. And women and other men and people do appreciate that. But as men, we don't let people know, man, we need to be appreciated. My mentor, Sean J, we talk about it. And one of the biggest issues he had.
Okay, fine.
No, it's
I'm
not
gonna leave the button alone.
flashback.
Fine,
It's
fine,
not flashback.
fine. Sean J.
Because we would talk about it, and he would get upset, like, man, maybe I don't like DJing. But then, I noticed some of the places he was at, people were using him. For example, like, hey, come help me do this gig. He'll kill it, and nobody would say nothing to him. It's like, well, you're not feeling appreciated. So now how you convey, man, I like doing that, but I feel like y'all don't really support me. There's nothing wrong and masculine about that at all. There's nothing how you convey that. And ever since then, he's kind of like,
Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. What I've learned here in this life ain't nothing. There's something's the biggest thing that's masculine is a man that's able to express what's wrong with him. So that's a man right there. A real man can say, I'm hurting. That don't feel good. I need help.
yeah.
That's a man. You know what I'm saying? A man isn't someone that could say that's just a workhorse. A man isn't someone that, shut up, stop crying. We don't care about that. Bring any groceries in the house. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the pressure that's on life, I do feel like as men, we got to get back to that point. We got to get to that point to where we're okay saying that. We're okay saying, hey, man, I need help. And it don't have to be to the world. It could be to your partner, like we said before. Hey, bro, I'm really struggling with this. You know what I'm saying? That don't just mean in a monetary form. That mean hey, my mental is not okay right now. Let's go take a walk. Let's go fishing.
We talk, which is great. We talk, and because we talk, those things get rectified, right? Like get noticed. Yep. We have a friend that got into it recently because we had another group of people who do certain things. Well, they pretended they was cool with it because their pride, they didn't want to lash out, and all of a sudden it builds up, and now you just explode.
Right.
You should have addressed that sooner without thinking you're going to be weak for
it. Like before here, you know what I'm saying? We had us a whole conversation about things that we agreed on or did not agree.
We don't put dirty laundry on the podcast.
Huh? No? Shut up. We had a whole conversation about
well, we don't have to get into
we ain't gonna go into the basis
but
of it.
It was just we had
different points of views.
We had different points of views that we had to talk about, and we talked about
We
them.
expressed them
We
as
expressed
men,
them as
and
men.
here we are.
Here we are, and it's kind of like a lot of times when that don't happen, it can be a problem. You know,
Yeah.
it can be a problem, and I think that it's cool. Like I do agree with you. We have to be better at expressing.
Yeah, I mean, I
expressing
can
emotions.
also say like there has been time to where, you know, not necessarily just in my family, but just times where I needed help, and you know, I'm feeling the pressure of the world, but I'm also the one that's blocking blessings because I'm not opening up my mouth and saying I need this help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we still kind of take some of the responsibility because we don't know how to communicate in the times of how we feel about our feelings, you know? And I think that's the number one step when it comes down to being more expressive is learning how to communicate the feelings properly. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you have someone on your side or kind of like what you were saying about with your wife, like that's your form of outlet. What we was doing. I'm good. Like, leave me alone. Let me be. You know what I'm saying? Let me be, because we don't know how to process those feelings. We don't know how to properly tell someone, hey, I'm hurt. No, I need you. I don't need you to rub my back. I just need you to sit on the edge of the bed and just look at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to say these words to me. I need a hug right now. You know? Let's go get something to eat right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I do feel like, I guess for us, being men that could talk and say, hey, I'm feeling this, you know. That's something that we just got into. That's something that we could be a light to some of y'all, you know what I'm saying, that's going to look at this and learn something from this, you know what I'm saying. Let us be someone that's saying, hey, I ain't feeling, let us be someone that can tell you that there's nothing wrong with a man expressing and saying, I'm not okay. That's what make you a man. being able to confront those issues that's wrong with you. That's what makes a man. And I just learned that recently, a month or so ago.
Recently, man.
A month or two ago.
Sometimes it take longer than others to learn things. You know, so
for sure. I think this was a perfect topic, bro.
I think it was.
No, this was a good one, man.
Dang.
Hey, man.
This was a good one.
Man, when my daddy sent me that, I was like, one, it made me think about how he felt trying to raise kids and do it. And it put me into my own thing. Like, I'm going through this right now. You know, like right now trying to raise a family, raise kids.
Hey, man. My pops, that's a dude right there. The things that he's done for my family, bro.
And all the people that came and stayed and lived there.
Yeah, he took them in. You?
I was there for a minute.
Yeah, he took him in. My mom took him in. My pops said he a warrior, man.
Good people, man.
He a legend.
Mr. O.
Shouts to Mr. O, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Charles.
But yeah, man.
Mr. Charles.
Like I said, I definitely.
Mr. Charles, them dropping jewels. You know how
man.
Man, boy, what he gonna do? He gonna drop some on you.
Yeah,
No,
Berto, I see you out there, man. You moving? Yeah, how you make that money out there, boy? Yeah.
No, see the way. That's what's wrong with people right now.
Man, you don't want none of that, man.
See, they got it all twisted and messed up.
See, what you do is, this is what you do.
That's definitely his line. That's what's wrong with people.
That's what's wrong with people. See, everybody want to go on with here and do it that way.
You know, I never met Mr. Charles until me and Jacoby went to a game one day, and I saw this man. I said, man,
he
this
looks
man just like Jacoby. I said, hey, bro, this is a dude that look like, oh, that's your daddy.
That's my favorite thing. No, see, you can't do it like that.
Or that he definitely do that.
Can't
No,
do it like that.
no.
What you do is, see what you do is, I love what you do.
That's where I get it from. His favorite line is where I get it from. See, man, let me tell you something.
See, man, yeah.
See, look,
Charles Jr. right there. Charles Jr. right there.
I definitely get that from him. That line right there. I hear it all the time growing up.
We got to bring them on this podcast.
Man, bro, your dad got to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I told him already.
Yeah, we're going to bring both of them on here.
He said he'll do it. I know Mr. O going to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, he called me one day. He said, Berto, man, what you doing, man? I said, man, I'm just I'm cleaning up right now, sweeping. He's like, oh, yeah, doing your man chores. That's why I call him a man chores. I said, or just chores.
Ask you to come.
Oh, yeah, I shut that down real quick. I know what he's asking. I'm busy. I mean, I want to move to French. Nah. But appreciate it. Good looking. Now we go fishing one of these days.
Yeah. Hey, man. Again, bro, this was
we
a perfect.
Appreciate everybody because we do. I see we wrapping up, come to a close.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to talk about today. Again, we are in the story
X, not
It's
just my story, his story.
On mine.
Everybody's story.
No, not that one.
Oh, you want to?
We're gonna end it with
This is your conscience.
and guess what, y'all? We out.
We out.